What's up? What's up, man? So actually, before we even get started, I'll let you go ahead and introduce yourself to the people. We
Okay,
do it
okay.
twice, beginning and the end. If you want to shout out, you know where to find you now. You can do that, or you can wait to the end. Either works.
Gotcha. Well, either way, not to take too long, ladies and gentlemen, I am the host of Who They Want podcast. They call me DJ Steady. Are you ready? Because I stay ready for the next podcast. And it's an honor to be here on this lovely network, chopping up with my bro. We're going to nerd out and talk about some stuff. Let's do it.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm fucking excited. First off, like, how do you feel about the X-Men '97 series? I think it's fucking amazing.
It's like reliving your childhood all over again for those of us that are originally from the 90s era.
Right,
And then
right.
watching them come back and not lose a step. Like it just takes you right there. The cinematics are great.
Like,
Having some of the original voice actors come back and still deliver that passionate acting voice. I love it
yeah,
all
and
together,
it's
bro.
like it's so good how they like made it. It feels old, but it also definitely feels
Got a
new.
new era touch to it. I said the
Yeah,
same
like it.
thing. I'm like, that animation style kind of is nostalgic, but not so
Yes,
bad to where you like, oh, I thought it was gonna kill us.
yeah, yeah. Like it. I don't know. It's. I think the writer. I don't know how much you know about comics or whatever. Like as far as the comic books go, but like I think the writer mixed so many different comic storylines, but
See it.
it doesn't feel overwhelmed. It don't feel like it's a lot going on. It all just mesh. It feels like still one story that's happening. Like you
And
know what
then
I'm
he
saying?
kind of
Like
pamphletized it. Like he just went through the comic
yeah,
books instead of giving you like this long, drawn out narration as we'll get through as we talk about episode 3 and 4. But
yeah,
he just kind of microsized it a little bit so you can still get a touch of that story, but without dragging it so much that you lose interest.
exactly. Yeah. So okay, so we'll start with episode 3. Fire Made Flesh.
Right.
So that was the one where at the end of episode 2 we saw like Jean come in and everybody laughed because it was like I knew that was the real Jean because she collapsed or like she fainted as soon as she came to the
That's a
door.
dead giveaway. It's not
It's like,
Gene unless she falls out on you.
like, and I'm like, damn, that's true. Um, and it's like the storyline of it is kind of adult in the sense of like the new one being like, damn, okay, so who the fuck am I? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not
Like
actually. You
surprise.
imagine a motherfucker come pop up one day and just be like, hey, I'm the real you.
And then you
The
looking at
real
and
me.
then the whole team is already gathered because they don't pay it no mind because it already had the same traits as the original Gene that they know of.
Right.
And you would have thought
Nobody
maybe
caught him.
Wolverine knows sense would have maybe picked up like he was easy to pick out Morph in a situation, when he was pretending to be
Mm.
Professor X. But then gotten in this, I guess he was so in love with her that he was just like,
That it
fuck
just didn't even. I just see Gene. It's just
it.
Gene.
That's it.
Like,
I'm not even gonna sniff
uh,
that shit because if I do, it's gonna hit.
yeah, they fucking around, pass out. They really passed out. But so they like discovered that the one that came to the door is actually the real one,
Right.
and everybody's sitting like, oh.
Gasping, right? Even Scott or Cyclops is sitting there like, what the what?
Everybody like, bitch, I think we need to test you. She like, test me. I've been fighting with you forever. Like, which is what made it crazier. We don't know when the fuck this switch happened.
You
I
don't. And
would
then having Beast, being that he is a professor himself, run, DNA analysis and go, oh, these are all the particles of real gene here. Like this is the
like,
real in the flesh gene. Now who this person is, we gotta work on.
you gotta figure this out. Yeah. It's like, um, damn, I forgot what I was gonna say. But so oh yeah, that's what it was. Because I rewatched the original series recently, like a little bit before the premiere of this show. And one of the things that it was like literally an episode where, I think it's the first season when they
Right.
encounter Sinister. So it's like that literally could have been the clone since the first season of the old show.
Right?
So
Like
like we
you would
probably
have to
only
go.
ever saw
You would,
Gene
it
in the
would take
first
you down a
season.
time loop. You would have to go through a complete time
Ah,
loop because they did have a lot of episodes where Bishop did show up and they went back and forth with the future past type of episodes
yep.
from previous episodes. So you're right. It might be. Like, at what
He could have
point
been there
did
for
we
a long fucking
honestly
time.
what point did we honestly get a swap out? Like,
Right.
was it during
And
the
that's what make
Phoenix
it
era
crazier.
where it was like, okay, it's the Phoenix, so she was going through this little gap of transforming.
Mhm.
Could it possibly been during that time period? We don't know now.
We have no fucking idea. And they both have the memories, so it's like,
How
damn,
can you
like,
compete with it, right?
that's such a mind fuck. Um, so yeah, so I like at this point, because she was a character in the comic books, like Madeline Pryor. And she was actually in the old cartoon too at one point.
Right.
Um,
So she's not like oblivious to the series.
yeah,
It's just for the new era people, they like, what? No, this can't be right.
yeah. Shit. Listen, X-Men is like low key like Marvel Love and Hip Hop. Like,
For
it's
real.
messy as fuck. It's so messy. There's so much going on. Scott, stay cheating.
Right? You
I'm
would
fucking
think
somebody
out of
else.
all the ones that would be the dog, Mr. Noble, Mr. I'm the leader of the
Right, the Boy
X-Men.
Scout. That nigga, Emma Frost, not in the fire. Like, yeah.
Yeah, he done had
So,
his fair share.
yeah, I'm telling you. But yeah, I like the transformation scene they did. Somebody put it. I don't know if you ever used to watch Sailor Moon, but somebody put it next to the Sailor Moon transformation, and it was like low key shot from shot, and I was like, oh shit, that made me love it a little bit more.
Yeah. Shout out to all my anime heads out there.
Yes, sir. Um, but yeah, so I love watching. I've always been a fan of like Dark Jean, or when she uses her powers in a more sinister way. So
Yeah,
she's
because
whooping their
that's
ass.
what you would expect her to do, which is
Yeah,
that's the whole thing between being on, Team Xavier versus Team Magneto.
yeah.
Xavier is like that Star Wars thing, that light versus dark. Like
You gotta
with the
hold
light
back.
side, you're only allowed to use so much of this power before you
Yeah,
lose control of it. And then,
Magneto
you
like
got
fuck that.
just embrace it. Right. Like the world already hates you, so just embrace it at full force.
Yeah, for real. And that should make sense. I've always been in between. Side note on both sides because it's like,
You have to be.
yeah, you want to like
You root for the heroes all the
show,
time, but sometimes you want the
yeah,
villain to take a W. Like at this point, the villain
yeah,
deserves that dub.
because some of them make sense, and I
Yeah.
think Magneto has always made sense. Like it, and I think they highlighted really good in this show how his whole point is like we just want to be left alone, and they just will not fucking leave mutants alone.
No,
Yes.
right? So going through
Um.
like episode 3, we see a classic
Mhm.
villain come back or,
Yeah.
reborn. You get
Mr.
Mojo.
Fuck Sinister and Mojo. Oh wait, so yeah, Mojo was episode 4. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, Mojo,
yeah.
Mojo was yeah, he was 4. Yeah, 3 was Sinister, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
but still,
So
even
Will
Sinister being still that maniacal, twisted demon.
fucking he
Like,
freaked me
compared
out
to
as a kid.
Apocalypse, I would definitely be
Yeah,
team Mr. Sinister just because he was so
yeah.
dark and threatening. Even in the video
He's
games, you'd be
smart
like,
as shit.
that'd be the one person I didn't wanna fight. Like, if I had to be team X-Men, I'm like, I'm down to fight a couple Sentinels, here and
Yeah,
there, some maniacs with a gun, but you want me to go against Mr. Sinister? Like, you don't know what he's capable of. Like, he got a whole bag of tricks. Like, he just put a whole clone gene and fucked the whole house up.
and we don't even know who else he may have possibly cloned too. I didn't even think about that, but as we talking
'Cause
about it,
you
he
see the fear in
possibly
Morph's
cloned somebody else.
eyes. There's
Oh,
something
Morph is
there.
terrified. Morph is fucking terrified of him.
And if you
Uh,
go back to the time when Morph originally disappeared in the earlier
yeah,
part of the series, there's
he
who
took him
knows,
and shit.
maybe Morph was some sort of regular mutant that he kind of messed up and now
He
Morph.
could have. It
Mm.
might. He could be like on like a kill switch kind of thing. So one day he's gonna activate his ass. Oof.
Right? Because if you notice, Morph kind of drifts off a little bit after that
Yeah, he
moment.
can. Yeah, yeah, he can be fucking anybody and like technically duplicate their powers while he's them. So like that's a lot. He, yeah, I can see him being very useful to a villain at some point, but like at the right moment.
Right,
Yeah,
like he's just gonna build his artillery. Like you thought
yeah.
Magneto had a squad. Wait till Mr. Sinister come on. He got Madeline Pryor. He's got Morph and whoever
Or
the hell else he wants.
right.
Like he might
Damn,
even
that'd
have a
be
kill
crazy.
switch now inside of Cable. We don't know
Yeah,
because
you don't
Cable
know.
technically is an
Um,
anti-hero.
so the other part that I liked with this episode too, because they was whooping, she was like whooping their ass, like
Oh yeah,
fucking
best
all of
fight
them up, and then
scene.
finally Jean was like, "Hold on, put her hair in that
She
ponytail.
wasn't
I'll be right
scared,
back."
like, for real. She was like
Yeah,
it was that moment where everything Daddy Xavier taught her about just,
Yeah.
be in control. And she was like, "Okay, this my mind. You want to play mind games with a mind freak?
Bitch,
Let me show you how to
you're
do this."
literally your mind is a fact. It was created from my mind. You can never like.
Like
She's like, hold on.
I am that ultimate power. Like you're just
Yeah,
a duplicate. Stop playing with it.
that shit. That scene was fire. And then she kind of like woke her up. So she's like, okay, yeah, shit. Like let me put this
She made
shit
her
in.
humble herself real
She
quick. She was like, "You know
said,
what?
oh, you know what?
I don't even want
Yeah,
to do
let me
this no more.
stop. Yeah, this is stupid. Give me a hug. Why are we doing this?
Bring it in. Bring it in. Fuck it. I lost the fight. Bring it in."
Yo, and yeah, so like they have to send Nathan off or Cable off and shit to the future now because the disease is too futuristic and shit. I didn't fully remember why they sent him to the future, so that was nice to see.
Word.
But yeah, so
Mm,
then that's where we pretty much practically end, and then Storm meets Forge at the very end. It
That
closes out.
was
I
just
was like,
the most
yes,
amazing moment, right? Because in the comic book,
yes.
that's how she initially.
She got her powers back. Yeah,
Right, but then they kind of short termed it too, because you remember she
yeah.
did a lot for the X-Men prior to losing her power. So this time they just like take her in her own secluded area. She gets her
Oh,
own little
because when she
chapter.
come back, whoo, whoo, when she come back, oh.
She's already registered. We learned in what episode 2 that she's already an omega level
Oh,
mutant.
see, I knew that. I knew that. And I was so glad to hear. Like, she's always been, it was just one of those things that always downplayed. And I think it's the Xavier effect of like,
Yeah.
pull your punches. So she never fully went there. Shit. Storm
Now,
is,
when you look at it, he definitely kept them on that leash. Like you're allowed
yeah,
to
like,
go, like even
hey,
with
hey.
Cyclops using full optic blast and going psycho with his power, like not
Yeah,
having that leash on them now got him like, okay, we can do what the hell we want to do now.
dog. And then, like, real quick before we hop into the episode 4, fucking also, I guess what I liked about just the show overall is they're using their powers like so much smarter, or like so many cooler different ways.
Yeah,
It's like
come on
using
now,
them to
that
charge
whole
each other up.
Gambit and Wolverine run sequence and him
Or
powering up the cross.
fucking Cyclops did the same shit for Bishop in this episode. He's like, Cyclops, load me up. He shot his ass for like full blast, and he took that shit and said, like
Took
it
out
was.
everybody because they realized Bishop realized that was going to be a losing battle. Like, let me go
Yeah,
ahead and get them
let's
on
go
fire
ahead,
hill because y'all ass has been whooped, and I done seen this future fight before.
dog. I'm telling you. So yeah, ends with Forge and Storm meeting, and then we're like, all right, cool. And so the next episode, and so I think even with this, I think because like the writer was like, all right, it's not a bad episode. It's just slower
Yeah,
and more essential. So it's like with everything else that we've seen so far, it was like a little calm down, a little breather episode. It's like Jubilee's 18th birthday,
of course.
and she want to spend it at a fucking arcade, which it makes sense for Jubilee. That's
Right.
up
She
her
got her
alley,
boyfriend over. She's still trying to
right?
kill old dude out. But then
Yeah,
you got this new anarchy system of leadership
yeah.
where
He's
Magneto ain't
like,
into all that. We don't have fun in game days.
ain't
We
no
have
fun. He's like, this is training. We're training today. There'll be no
like,
birthday celebrations.
none of that. Like, save that bullshit. Xavier
Yeah,
gave y'all that shit. I'm finna put you in the real world. We just go straight to work.
because if they catch your ass at arcade and kill you. Anyway, so she like being the defiant young Jubilee. Like her character is interesting because it seems like she never necessarily grows up, but she does.
In a sense. Right.
I don't know.
Like
It's hard to. It's
she
weird.
still
It's
got that
interesting.
childish mindset, but when it's time to
Yeah,
get work done and them glasses
yeah,
come down and that bubble gum pops, she letting you know
yeah. She
that
ready to.
childish shit is out the window for a minute.
I want to see more of her powers
I
before we
do
like
too
finish. I want
now.
to see more of like because I feel like it's another character that's kind of downplayed. I don't think she's Omega level, but like let me look it up right quick. Let me make sure. Like
But she could be damn near close, if not.
yeah, like she's up there.
Right.
Let me just type it in because I ain't about to read all that shit. Is Jubilee Omega level? I don't think so, but we gonna see. Okay, no, she not.
Damn. Oh well. But
Yeah, that's fine. But
she's
she's
that
still,
good sub mutant to have on your team in the
yeah.
because she's a good distractionary character too. Like
Yeah, I want to see which ones.
That you can pull the list of who's all the mega, right? Let's go ahead and go
Oh
take
no! Oh, I know. Listen, we can do that one. Like,
side note,
because I
people. It's
already
about to
know.
get exclusive, right?
I know. Magneto.
For sure. Storm,
Um, Storm. Yep.
Jean, I'm
Let's
sure.
see. Yeah, Jean is. Um,
Wolverine better be
Iceman.
right. Okay, I can
Um,
take that.
Ironically, Wolverine isn't, because his own, like, technically his only ability is to heal, and so like Omega level is like an
Power
ability that, yeah, that can
can
like
be stopped.
alter, yeah, and it doesn't have
Okay,
like
so
a
that
limit.
would make Gambit Omega level.
Yep, he is. So
Like, so anybody with kinetic powers and telekinetic,
essentially,
yeah, over adamantium and
but they don't consider him, and I don't know why. There was a moment where he unlocked. There's like depths his power, and it was at one point in the comics he unlocked the depths and he became Omega level. But normally he's not attuned to that power.
which is cool. It's understandable. I'm not tripping over it. Like him and Beast can sit under that. You're still a
Yeah,
threat, but you're not Omega level, which works
but
for the
you still
radar.
get fucked up.
Right, like the
Right,
Sentinel's like, yo, if they worry about them, I'm the one over here you need to worry about.
right. All right. So yeah. We back to the episode 4, Jubilee's birthday. So she sneaks out, does the kid thing, whatever, and ends up in a fucking game from Mojo that was created by Mojo, old character. Um, he's like fucked with the X-Men multiple times. He's always like trying to have them on like his TV shows and shit. And
Right.
they always escape. Um, and it was funny because like they showed him this time, and Jubilee said it instantly because I saw, I was like, oh shit, he looked different. She said, she was like, did you get like lipo or something? And he was like, oh, you like why I do look like
Right. Since I ain't really building all these ratings like that, it gave me time to kind of work out.
right. But it was visually it was kind of cool just seeing them go through like random X-Men moments and stuff like that, and
Right.
it
Take
looked
it
like a
back.
game at some part. So it was a cool down type episode. And she went into like her future self.
Right. Like on this mysterious, dark, shadowy character for a minute, and then it's like, oh,
Yeah,
I'm you.
no, that's
With,
just me.
ladies and gentlemen, voiced by the original voice actor.
Yes, that was hype. Um, and yeah, so she kind of pretty much helps her. It wasn't too much going on. It was kind of very simple, like going through these levels, and I think um, homeboy like kind of starts to disappear a little bit, but then she realizes he just needs another life and shit. Like pretty normal video game type shit. And homegirl saves them and sends them back.
But also
Simple.
teaches her to tap into her powers a little bit more.
Yeah,
She was like,
yeah.
whoa, I can do that. It's like, yeah, there's a
Like,
whole lot. You
you
can
got
go
you got a lot of shit you can do. It's time to
like you
start.
just did 18. It's kind of like one of those Salem witch trial things where like you're becoming a witch and you're like, oh, this is just a touch of what you can do. As you get older,
Yeah,
your powers
like
mature and you can really go full frontal.
yeah, because I'm ready to see that part of Jubilee now. Like they've done it in some of the comics where there was even a storyline where she became a vampire, which is kind of wild. So like there's different things that they've explored with her powers. I just want to see it like happen.
Right. Because I mean, I'm sure she's a fan favorite by now. Like she's on
Oh
the
yeah,
list.
yeah,
Like you got to have
always.
a Jubilee on your team. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I
Right.
mean, like you said, it was the nostalgic period of going through all these old episodes. She
Yeah.
kind of felt like, oh, I want to be stuck. Like this is what I want to be. And the homeboy had to let her know, like, girl, you done lived this moment. Like we ain't got to keep going through this. You won't.
Right.
And
Yeah.
the way Magneto, the virtual Magneto came back for her ass was like,
Oh, that shit was
nah, I'm
crazy.
gonna
I was
get
like,
you up
hold
out of
on.
here because homeboy ain't finna play with you.
Yeah, that shit was good. It was a fun one. And then it kind of went to like the second half or like the
I'm
last
mad,
like
right? Because
10 minutes.
they spent like the whole 30-minute, 25 minutes on her, and I was like, y'all could have just gave me the storm part. But
Man,
I get it. Shout out to
it
the
was it
writers
was
and
a it was a cool down. It was like
right, you
relax.
needed that. We turned
Y'all got
up. We
after
almost saw
everything that we
Magneto
got
destroy
through.
the world again. We almost saw him snap back into old Magneto. So we had to be like, all right, we gave y'all right out the gate. We just
Yeah,
pulled no punches. So right now, what you need that, right? Even Dragon Ball Z had some
and
episodes
and
where they did
fucking
talking.
what everything that y'all have gotten so far and everything and what y'all about to get. because the episode immediately after, we'll save it, but immediately they was like, cool down, breathe a little bit, take a little,
Woosah real
boom,
quick.
jump, gut punch. Like, but like, so yeah, so it ended with like Forge, trying to basically help Storm get her powers back, and he like admits to her like, okay, so I kind of made the machine that took your powers. That's how I know I can help you. And she like, nigga, what? Like slaps the shit out of him. Like how? Like why would you even work with the government to create something like that? Like
But at the
no.
time, like he said, when you're young and you kind of gifted like
Mhm.
that, you don't know who's ultimately manipulating you. That's
Yeah,
like being greeted by Magneto before being greeted by Xavier. You don't know that he
mm,
coming to recruit you for some dark madness.
yeah, that's true. Um, so yeah, so I mean, at this point, she slaps him and shit. And then there's like this fucking big demon that comes out of nowhere to fucking fight them, and then it ends.
First of all, the owl, you ain't gonna overlook the owl because she had talked about it earlier, right?
Yeah,
She's
you're
like,
right.
"This
Yeah,
is owl." So in his mind, he was like, "Oh, it's just like a spirit guide. It's just here to
yeah,
help.
right.
Maybe you recognize." Because you would think after he puts her in the machine and she tried to reconnect with,
Mm-hmm.
Mother Nature, that hey, this worked. So I'm seeing the owl come and actually start talking. So I'm like, "Oh, this is that Night Wolf." For my Mortal
Yeah,
Kombat fan, like that challenge, like
yeah.
I'm gonna
Then
put
it's
you
like
on
a Native
task.
American kind of thing. Yeah,
Yeah, like, let me put you on this plane and help you realize that technically you had it all along, you just now to be retapped back into it.
right. Yeah. I feel that. Um, and I mean, I don't fully remember. It makes me want to go back and read the comics. Like there is
Right,
something
because it's
something
very
like
long
that.
and drawn out before it really
Yeah. Whew.
they just packed it and was like, "Let's gonna give y'all the short version," like, that's my
Yeah.
level, right? I'm one of the ones where you're gonna give me a novel and I'm the one that's gonna flip it to the back of the book, like, I don't have time to read this whole entire book. I'm just gonna read the back and go ahead and do my summary.
Yeah. See, at this point, it's mostly because I write that I will read through something,
Gotcha.
but it takes me a long ass time because my attention span is awful. So like, it'll take me a year to read a book. Like comics, I can read them right there because it's like 10 pages. Like yeah, I can read a
Right,
comic.
it's in your face. You got it,
But
boom.
like a novel and shit, like oh no, it's gonna take a second. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it, but it's
Right.
gonna take. Whew, it's gonna take a while.
Like, I remember my
Oh
Harry Potter phase, like, I'm sitting up there, like you said, it take me, like
man, what?
it's gonna
I'm
take me at
trying to
least
get
6
back
months
there.
to get through this whole book, and everybody's like, "You just now on chapter 3," and I'm like,
Yeah, nigga.
yeah. I'm trying to watch the
Right,
movie more than get more of my mind wrapped around the movie parts first."
right. I'm telling you. But yeah, I'm gonna look. I'm gonna try to look and see how exactly she got her powers back. But yeah, so that's what they left us. So it was like episode 3 and 4. Episode 3, we got some more fire. Like they turned that shit the fuck up. And then episode 4 was like, okay, we gonna cool you down. Cool down a little
But
bit.
it's
Hey,
also nice to see them take the attention span off Wolverine so much 'cause, as a fan
God
favorite
damn it,
that
thank you.
I read that's what it was like. Look, the whole idea of this was like to let you know that the other characters are important just as much as Wolverine. We all know you love the claws, you love the healing factor,
Like
you
I
love
like his
the
story, but it
macho
ain't that
attitude.
goddamn interesting. It's not. It's
Like,
never been that fucking interesting to make him the
so to
focus.
give Jubilee a moment to shine and have her thunder moment, and then jump back into Storm, like, oh, you thought we was just gonna write her
Yeah,
out because episode 1 and 2 she went through that little battle. Like, nah, she's still very important. Like, she's still in the intro.
yeah, that's it. So okay, so before we like wrap it up, who's like one of your favorite X-Men?
Okay, excluding Wolverine because that's just a given
Yes.
factor. I'm definitely gonna say my boy Gambit, hands down.
Mm, hell yeah, I love the Raging Cajun. That's my boy. And especially again, we touched on it right quick because he's technically Omega level.
Right.
They probably never do it, but like, fuck episode. Yeah, we gotta talk episode.
Definitely gonna have to spoiler alert. Sorry,
Yeah, we're
people.
gonna
We're gonna have
do
to microsize it. We ain't gonna give you so much of it. We'll save it for next week when we, after this episode 6 drop.
yes, yeah. We coming back. You, me, Kyle. Episode 5 and 6.
Let's
Cause
do it.
okay, no. So yeah, one of my favorite. Definitely Gambit is in my top 5. Um,
Nightcrawler as
but
well.
yeah. All right, fuck it. Let's do a top 5 there. We got 3 more. Fuck it. Why not? Why not
Okay,
end it off like
Wolverine,
that?
Gambit,
All right.
Nightcrawler, definitely gonna have to say Iceman because he's definitely pretty tough. You feel me?
Yeah.
And I
Oh
gotta give
yeah.
it to
Oh my
Storm.
God.
You can't not have Storm not in your top five.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. The fucking weather goddess. I do love that they kept that she still announces winds prepare to surround that. Like
Gave you some Captain Planet little
I love
moments.
it. She definitely still that's my shit. I love it. Um, but yeah. So Storm is number one, like always. Um, Jean Grey,
Okay.
Gambit. Um, I want to say Iceman, but okay, fuck it. I'll go ahead and add Iceman. And then, I'm gonna go ahead and do one of the New Mutants. My girl
Yeah.
Magic.
Okay. Nice touch. But and I like it because you got some Omega levels that's gonna train
Yeah.
them up and help them tap in. So like
Hell
going to
yeah.
war with our top fives, you be like, as long as we got space to move around with these Omega levels, we good.
Good.
But then you
Man, when
gotta
they
have some classics and they're like, okay, I know what I'm doing.
in that first fucking episode, Omega level threats detected.
Right out the gate.
I
But
was
she
like,
came through there so
give him the
smooth. It was the
forecast.
way they brought her in. Like you already
He
knew
should
she
have.
was
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
show them what you can do. And she
That
just walks in
nigga's-
a cool, calm, and collected, and everything just becomes ice. Like it's just free.
And it's the way that she did it. Because she summoned
Elegant.
thunder that shocked sand to turn it into glass and broke it up, or ice, into whirlwinds. It was like, in like
Fucking with
five
that.
seconds, she used five different types of, you know what I'm saying? Like in 2 seconds. It was, man.
I can see why Wolverine had a side love affair with that. Like
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, Storm has the niggas. Like they ain't really explored it yet, but Storm had the niggas because she ended up still marrying fucking Black Panther.
you
Let's not
feel
forget
me?
that done by him. Fucking the affair with Wolverine, affair with Forge. There was that one nigga from space who flew down from space and said, "Bitch, please marry me." I've never seen you.
Like, don't act like just because you seen Scott get these little kiss and pecks here and there, like
You
everybody else
ain't,
from putting in work.
man. I'm telling you. But yeah, fucking appreciate you for doing this with me. Definitely coming back for episode 5 and 6, probably next weekend around the same time. But
Let's
I'll
do it.
let you know. But yeah, this fucking X-Men. All right, before I let you go, again, I appreciate you. Definitely let the people know where to follow you, find
Of
you, all that
course,
stuff.
official Who They Want entertainment page on YouTube and of course Facebook. Who They Want are DJ Steady. Are you ready? You can find me. I appreciate the support.
Hey, sister steady, are you ready?
I love it. Right? That done became
Yeah.
my official theme now. Like that's just it. It's marked. It's there.
Hey, that's it. Fuck yeah. When you do shit, it just kind of flows into the universe with other shit. It just work out perfect, you know.
And that's what it's all
Um,
about.
I'm telling you. But no, man, I appreciate you. I'm gonna definitely hit you up. We got a shit low key, because you and Kyle are the only two I've done reviews for these. Y'all might fuck around and be the ones who do the rest of them with.
I,
Shit.
I'm
Fuck
with
it.
it. I'm there for it. I love it. Come on. This like you say, it's a Saturday morning. I'm the type that still wake up in my 30s and be like, I'm gonna go pull
With
this.
some cereal.
There you go for the go pull this
Captain
Fruit
Crunch.
Loops, and I'm gonna start from 1 all the way back down to 5. I don't care. Like I'm just gonna sit
Yes,
there, legs
sir.
crossed in the sofa, like don't touch me, don't move nothing.
I'm telling you, yes. All right, well, no, I appreciate you. I'll definitely hit you up this week
All right,
for the next review.
all right, bro.
All right, appreciate you.
No doubt.
Peace.